Hey, what's going on? It's Green Thumb. So, it's seed starting day. I figured you guys might want a bit of a breakdown to see what I'm going to be planting in the garden in the basement. So, we'll flip this camera around, point it down at the little table below me there, and I'll give you guys a breakdown on what I'm going to plant, why I'm going to plant it, and some of the thought processes behind what I'm planning on doing. All right. So we're going to start off with some Boston pickling cucumbers. They have a pretty fast date of maturity, right? So about 55 days. So just to explain a few things here, right? We're doing this in my basement in a greenhouse that I built. So I'm going to have a garden growing outside this summertime, but the goal for this greenhouse this winter is to provide as much healthy food as I can grow and maintain growing over the course of the wintertime. And one of the stipulations for anything I'm planting has to have a very fast date of maturity. Because I'm not going to wait, for example, I'm not going to wait 3 months to get cucumbers. If that's the case, why plant them, right? Because I won't be by the time they're ready to go, I'm going to be starting my spring crop down there. So, like I said, so if you guys haven't really gone over the back of your seed packs, they tell you everything you need to know. Okay? So, right there. Days to maturity, 55 days. So from the time I germinate these until I start eating them is 55 days. That's not even 2 months from now, right? Right now at the grocery store, it's $2 for one cucumber. It's $5 for one head of lettuce. $5. I refuse to pay $5 for a head of lettuce. You throw half of the head of lettuce in the trash, right? If you don't eat it every single day, the outer leaves get wilty and gross. You peel them off, you throw them in your compost, and you eat the leaves underneath it. I'm not paying $5 to eat, $1.25 a lettuce. So the other reason I'm planting these is because they grow lots of these cucumbers. They're about 4 or 5 inches long. They're great for snacking. Put them in my kids' lunches. I can put them in salads and stuff. Next, we're going to grow dark green zucchini. I prefer the golden zucchini, but I don't have any of those seeds right now. I'm in the middle of making a seed order. So we're going to go with some dark green zucchini. And the ones I don't eat, I'll hand off. Because any of you guys that grow zucchini, you know that you end up with more zucchini than you eat anyways. We're going with a Brandywine tomato. It's got a relatively short date of maturity, 70, 75 days. So we're doing 2 kinds of tomatoes here. We're doing Tommy Toes, and we're doing these. I wanted something that I could snack on, give to the kids, maybe throw them in their lunches, cut up into salads and stuff. And both of these are indeterminate varieties, so they will be grown up my trellis netting I'm going to install down there. Okay? These ones, date of maturity, what are we looking at? Indoors, 65 to 80 days. So I bet if I fertilize those right and give them lots of light, I'll be eating in about 65 days. These ones here, what do we have for days to maturity? Oh, doesn't say on this one. Oh, 75 days. That's right. So, and I wanted these because I wanted a bigger tomato that's a slicer tomato for burgers and that sort of thing, sandwiches. Okay, so we've got cucumbers, zucchini, got tomatoes. We're doing 4 kinds of lettuce. And the reason we're doing 4 kinds of lettuce is I'm trying to incorporate different colors into our diet, right? Because the different colors in the food that you're eating means different nutrients, micro and macronutrients in your food. So we're doing red romaine lettuce. That one's really pretty. We're going to do prize head. This one's good in sandwiches. We're going to do butter crunch. This one's really great in salads. And then we're doing black seeded Simpson. And so the nice thing about lettuce is they're a cut and come again plant. So if you don't know what that means is, so you kind of have 3 options with a head of lettuce. 1, you can let it grow full size. You can cut it off at the ground. Plant's done, right? And eat that head of lettuce. 2, you can take a knife and cut it a couple of inches off the ground, cut it flat across, harvest that, and it will regrow lettuce right out of the center. So, you know, something like what I would probably do is something like that. Or 3, with something like the romaine, it always grows out of the center. So what you can do is you can just continually harvesting the exterior leaves. You just pull them, snap them off, and it'll just keep producing for you. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. So that covers lettuce. And these are all pretty quick. It says 50 days, right? It says 50 days, but that's if you're going to harvest the whole head. You don't have to wait 50 days to harvest your lettuce, right? As soon as you have a decent sized head of lettuce, you can just start harvesting the exterior leaves. We're going to go rainbow Swiss chard. And yes, it really is as gorgeous as it looks on the picture, even more so. So we're going to do this one, 50 to 65 days. Swiss chard is also a cut and come again plant. Well, sort of. You just kind of harvest the outer leaves and just keep breaking them off at the stem, and it just keeps on producing. It's December 9th, and I still have Swiss chard growing in my backyard right now, and we've had snow and frost every night. We're going to do some mammoth dill, because who doesn't like fresh dill? You can, you know, put it on your fish, and when it's nearing the end of its life, I'll let it flower, and then all those flowers will create seeds, and then I'll harvest the seeds from that, and then I can regrow those seeds because it's not going to get contaminated by anything else and cross-pollinated in my basement. Or I can use those seeds to make like quick dill pickles in the fridge or something. American spinach. So when you guys buy bags of spinach at the grocery store, those plastic containers of spinach, this is the spinach that you're getting. It's very prolific. It's really tasty. I made a salad out of some spinach and some greens the other day for my kids, and they couldn't eat enough of it. So I'm like, booyah, super healthy, right? Days to maturity, 45 to 55 days. But that's for a full plant. I don't need a full plant, right? As soon as it gets big enough that I'm able to start harvesting out of it, I'm going to do that. And it's the other reason I'm growing spinach is, you know, in the wintertime, the grocery store vegetables, they're shipped a lot farther. They're generally right about at the end of their life cycle. They're rotting 2 or 3 days after you get them home. I want to be able to provide my family essentially healthy, fresh grown fruit and vegetables. Fruit, I say fruit, right? Because, you know, tomatoes are a fruit. Healthy fruits and vegetables and leafy greens at my house, and pick them and eat them within 5 minutes of having them pulled off my plants. It doesn't get any healthier than that. We're going to grow some dwarf green curled kale. These plants don't get huge. For those of you guys who have been watching my content from this summer, this is the kale that I was growing along with some dino kale, but the dino kale was generally just a waste of time to grow. I probably won't grow that again. That was just a waste of time and effort to maintain. So I'm going to grow this, and then I'll just keep harvesting it. I won't wait for the leaves to get as big. I'll eat the leaves when they're smaller, tender, and they taste better. And kale's pretty much indestructible, so, and it's loaded with vitamins. Basil, self-explanatory, right? Who doesn't like basil? And especially because, you know, we're growing tomatoes, so you can grow your basil out, harvest the leaves, grow your tomatoes out, take these tomatoes off, cut them in half, put them on a plate, put a piece of basil on top, and a nice piece of cheese on it, and you can just eat them as a snack, or you can drizzle them with some olive oil and some vinegar, stuff like that. Tasty snack. We're going to do some chives, because you can mix chives in with all kinds of stuff, and they're easy. These are just going to grow in a pot. And the nice thing about chives is there's pretty much no worry about maintenance on them. They just take care of themselves, right? Throw them in a pot, just let them go, eat them as you want. Italian oregano. If you guys have not grown oregano, I highly, highly suggest you don't grow it anywhere other than a pot. If you put it in the ground, you will never, ever get rid of it. And by that, I mean ever. So always grow it in a pot. Even if you grow it in a raised bed, it will get out of your raised beds. The roots are rhizome based. So all it needs is a little tiny piece of root left in the ground and it will regrow this damn plant. It is highly invasive. Delicious, but highly invasive. And I have almost no dried oregano left and I use it a lot. So I'm just going to grow a pot of it. And this is also another plant that you don't have to maintain. I'm just going to grow it, water it, and harvest it as I need it. And green onions. I'm going to succession plant my green onions. I need to order. I've got a whole bunch of seeds in my shopping cart at migardener.com. I just need to pull the trigger and have them all sent here. So 60 to 75 days, but that's if you want huge ones, right? And I'm just going to kind of harvest them as needed. And so you can also, these are also a cut and come again. So you can cut them, you know, roughly here at the ground and they'll just regrow. So if I want to go that route, I can, or I could just pull one out, you know, to chop up into some ramen or whatever. So we're going to do some of those. So at this point in time, this is what's going to be going in the greenhouse. So I'm going to upload this video, then I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to start getting some pots ready and some trays and some soil, and I'm going to upload that. And we're going to start planting this stuff. And we're doing that today. All right? So if you guys want to follow along with what's going on and you're not a subscriber, hit that little subscribe button and the notification bell. If you guys have any comments or suggestions for other things that I can grow inside the house. Also, I have a pot of parsley outside I'm going to bring in. And I have, I'm also, oh, yeah, sorry. And I forgot to mention cilantro. These are all seeds I've harvested off my cilantro plant. So we're going to grow some cilantro. And I'm trying to overwinter a pepper plant, but my puppy has chewed the hell out of it, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to bring it back to life. So I'm probably going to start a couple of pepper plants just to see what happens. Sorry guys, I'm fighting some sort of virus or some shit. And so we'll see what kind of room we have left and how many pots we have left and what else we're going to go. All right, so hit that thumbs up. Show me some love. Leave a comment. Have a great day, guys. See you on the next one.